Hey, hi everyone. So I'd love to do a little check-in and just see how things are going. Love to hear what's happening in your practice. So it's an opportunity to just discuss anything that's coming up in the practice, self-inquiry questions, meditation questions. We can talk about what techniques you're using. If there's yeah, just anything coming up, this is the opportunity to connect. So yeah, so there is once again different ways of doing the raise hand in Zoom. So some people actually have a little raise hand button. There's also the gestures, or you can just unmute yourself, and that's probably as easy as anything. So maybe we can do it that way as well. So yeah, I'd love to, if anybody has anything coming up in the practice. We left about an hour and a half for this. It's probably not going to go an hour and a half, so we would just go as long as there are questions here. So yes, I'll ask you to. How do you pronounce your name?
Just Helen.
Oh, okay.
That's my last name. So
Yeah.
I will start with rather easy question. I think this is purely about meditation.
Mhm.
So single pointed concentration meditation.
Yes.
Um, I have I there's one moment that will take me out of my meditation. I will describe that. So for me, my object was the third eye, so the area over here.
Mhm.
So I would focus on that, and I know the body is ready to fall off, like drop off. Like I kind of so other practices I know how that felt. So there's a moment the body gets really ready to drop off,
Mhm.
but there's always somehow somehow this remembering of taking a breath, like all of a sudden there's a breath take me out of that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Perhaps like before that the breath was really shallow to no breath at all. I
Mhm.
do not know, but this like a moment of a breath comes in take me
Yeah.
out of that. It
Yeah.
happens repeatedly.
Yeah.
I want to know how to overcome that.
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's actually, I think it's this afternoon at the afternoon sit. I believe there is a little talk or a little guiding around exactly this. It's either today or tomorrow, I can't remember. But yeah, as we go deeper into the practice, there are these different subtle little ways that the mind maintains control. And so, yeah, one of them is it's great that you're noticing it. You're noticing that the mind. Oh, I'm just going to mute whoever that is. Yeah. Yeah, so the mind will try to hold on. There's a natural energetic unfolding, and then as the energy starts to build, quite often it's like the mind will take a breath. So it's not the body just breathing naturally, but it's like the ego mind is taking the breath. So the fact that you see that is perfect. That's all there is to do is to make that conscious more and more. So just watch for it. Just you know that it's doing that. It's just about making it conscious, and there's all different ways that the mind does this. It does it with the breath. For some people, there'll be a deepening of the practice and a deepening of presence, and then the body will just shift or something like that. So it could be taking a breath, it could be the body just shifts. or it could be, there's very subtle little things going on in the eyes for most people as well. So there's a lot of eye movement, and it's constantly kind of breaking energetic flow as well. And these are called saccades, these little involuntary eye movements. And there's different rhythms in the body as well, and different energies moving. So we can tune into any of these things in our practice as we go deeper. And it's, when we're making these things conscious, we're freeing the energy from that pattern. So we don't want to. There's nothing I can tell you to do, because the more, if I tell you to do something, that just keeps the mind active. So just continue to see what's in play, and eventually, the fact that you're seeing the pattern means it's already dropping. It's no longer unconscious. It's coming to the surface. So thank you. Was there any other question, or that was it?
I have many questions, but I will give other people a chance.
Okay. Yeah, it's no problem. We're here for a while, so yeah.
So, okay, I will give a second question. So this one is more related to the Dyads we had in the past. So I didn't join Dyads yesterday for a reason, because the first 2 days I realizing uh actually it repeats, like the outcome of each inquiry repeats itself. It starts with nothing, like really I can't draw any words at all, but there's energy going through the body. um, so uh, so it's kind of a repeating, nothing really changes.
Mhm.
And then there was one session, the partner, when the partner was doing inquiry, I was witnessing. There's a talk about like talking, like the mind talking in words, like two voices. So I toned in when is my time, to see if there's any like spoken words, right? Which is kind of interesting. There's no spoken words, but when I describe, there's nothing happening, I'm using words. So I'm a kind of a then afterwards I go, who's talking? Like in that in like where does that voice, the choice of words, if it's not going through the mind, where does that come from?
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
hope I understand a bit of that.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, things start to get really interesting as we go deeper into this process. And yeah, like, so when you come to that place where, the mind is pretty quiet, but yet it's like you're commentating on the mind itself. So the mind, it's still, there's still, an inquiring. There's still something happening there. There's still a doing. There's still language. So yeah. I would say when you come to that place, we want to attune to the very subtle aspects of the mind, which it sounds like that's what you're doing. You're noticing, there's this language coming from somewhere, right? So who is that? What is that? And we can start to really see, like, quite often, the mind is still very aware that it's doing this process, and there may be an evaluation happening, and these are very, very subtle things in the mind, usually very deeply unconscious, but we start to become more conscious of them. So the mind might be evaluating, saying, this is what's happening, or maybe it's expecting something. It's expecting the mind to drop off. It's expecting itself to drop off. Or whatever it's doing, and that expectation is keeping it from dropping off. Or from, and the thing is, the mind doesn't even know what that means. For the mind to drop off, it's because sometimes there's fear that comes up. The mind's like, uh-oh, the something's going to happen. I'm going to disappear. But really, it's nothing is actually lost. It's this part of the mind that is, it is that evaluating. It's the part that's saying this is I'm doing it right, I'm doing it wrong, this is good, this is bad, this, whatever commentary. It's all this dualistic aspect of the mind, and it's this very subtle evaluation that can be happening at that point. So we just want to see it again. Nothing to do except to just really attune. I would say always to the subtle. Just really sometimes these processes of mind. We're so in it. It's like the fish in water thing. Like we're so, the fish, you can't tell it where the water is. It's so in it, but we can start to see it. We can start to understand what the mind has been doing all along. And yeah, just really see what's in play there and question, those you're questioning it. Where's that commentary coming from? Who's deciding that? And who am I? Am I that little voice, and intend to directly experience the truth of who you are?
Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah. Thank you. Go to Maya. Here we go.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, can. Yes.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
So I'd like to share yesterday's Dyads experience and also have a little question.
Mhm.
So yesterday, while I was the inquirer and I was reporting to the witness about the subtle movements of the mind that I've noticed. And suddenly there was the voice of the facilitator. That was you.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I was expecting something like that, but it was totally unexpected because something happened at that moment. And it was not in the meaning of the question that I was given. It was the energy that was coming with that question.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know how to explain, like an arrow, penetrating everything through me and questioning the one inside.
Mhm.
So in previous Dyads, every time I was given the imperative, the mind would take charge and start searching and stuff, and this time mind just vanished.
Mm.
It just stopped, and uh, there was the feeling that this question was not to me as a mind, but to the something that was deep inside, and that arrow took me and showed me the address of the one that was addressed, something like this.
Mm. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you.
And
Yeah. That
yeah, there,
that dropping off is mysterious. It's mysterious. It's sometimes, yeah, just that unexpected little interjection. The mind it's like it's disarmed somehow, and it's in that moment. The energy is just there.
yeah, and there was this shift in energies, and then slowly the mind started to come back, and I didn't resist it because I've been resisting it for too many years.
Yeah.
And that the thoughts came that now you give the time for the witness. And so I let it go. And so that was the sense left that something happened, but still there's the feeling of unsatisfactoriness, that something's not complete yet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, so what you're describing, that glimpse, the mind always comes back. Even if we have, sometimes I talk about kensho, like these moments of awakening, where sometimes they last for long periods of time. They can last for a few seconds, or they can last for days or even weeks. But eventually, the mind will always come back because. Unless we have purified all of our samskaras and all of our vasanas, there'll always be some life situation. We like maybe in the retreat we're in a situation where the mind is just totally quiet, but then we go back and visit our parents, old patterns come up, or we visit our friends, or something happens in life. So the vasanas are these situational tendencies in life that trigger those patterns. They're the conditions that trigger those patterns. And so when that happens, whether it's just in maybe it's just the glancing at the time, and it's like, oh, the time I have to do this. All of a sudden, the mind is back. Um, so. Um, so in those situations, it's an opportunity to really see who we are. You see the mind, coming back, doing its thing. But the one who was, aware when that mind kind of dropped, that awareness that was there, that's you, obviously. And so you can question, is that awareness still here? Even when the mind comes back. Even in this moment when we're speaking right now, that same awareness is here all the time. So what happens is, the mind mistakes the state, the energetic state and the phenomena, because there is an energetic sort of signature to that state. So the mind mistakes the phenomena for the truth of who you are. But who you are, that pure, that awareness, the knower of that experience is the same knower of this experience right now. There's nothing to do. We don't have to get that experience back, because that experience is just one of infinite number of experiences. It's always, all phenomena is always changing. All the experiences come and go. All states will come and go. But the knower of that state is you, and that's who's here right now. So in this moment, is that awareness, does it feel like that awareness is here?
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you look for that awareness, is it ever not here?
Can't be.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just recognizing that as the truth, of who you are. And, like Ramana Maharshi said, just abide as that awareness. Just stay with that awareness. The phenomena of the world and the mind is always out here, but if we stay, just abide as that awareness, this deep purification starts to happen within the mind. Everything that was hidden in the unconscious comes up to be purified, and we just stay with it. And we don't need to look for any state or do anything, just essentially just be. So it's a huge sort of relaxing for the mind. The mind can just totally relax, and you can just be and just allow whatever's unfolding to be as it is.
Yeah. Can we say so that the attention is sometimes towards mind and sometimes towards awareness?
Yeah.
And that's because sometimes we notice it and sometimes not.
Mhm.
Is it about the attention?
Yeah, yeah. So that's it. So the whole practice, this whole sadhana is about, you know, learning to put attention on the self, you know, and the self isn't a thing. So we're not, so this is the paradox, is we're not really putting attention on the self, because attention is like that camera of the mind that turns here and there. So you can't turn towards the self really, you know, but if you have this intention to turn towards the self, it's like the attention just sort of opens, you know, the attention just sort of opens into this moment, and there's this sort of presence or spaciousness that opens up. So and that's it. That's sadhana. That's the whole thing. Is just you know, we are sort of training that attention, which is, it's part of the mind, you know, but we're training it to just sort of relax into open presence, and recognize that presence that's always here. You know, it's like the presence sort of shines through, you know, by relaxing, and we're not focused on the phenomena. We're just allowing the mind to be, you know, an open mind, or when I say a beginner's mind or a don't know mind, that's just a mind where the attention is here, but it's relaxed, open. And that's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for everything, for doing this retreat.
Thank you. I'll go to Monique. Hi, Monique.
Hi, Dan. Hi. I really like what you just said. This is lovely. I was shaking when I need to talk. Something happened on Sunday morning when I watched your video. And it says pre-recorded, but I could not believe it was pre-recorded, because the experience I had with a pre-recorded was unbelievable. So I was very surprised. When I do the dyad, since I had an experience before that it was me, I am that, I am consciousness, I am awareness. When I do the dyad, it always, when I start, I am the inquirer. When I close my eyes, I can go in so easy, like I feel that space and that quietness and that presence. But Sunday, when I was listening to the video, somehow you were talking about this skandals. I'm not very good with those words. And you were reading the Mahaprajna Paramita, the Heart Sutra. But you were talking about, I heard, tell me who you are. And when you said that, like something broke inside of me. I don't know how to explain. And the reaction that came in instantly was, who is asking? And then what came in was, well, a cat doesn't ask who they are. They know who they are. A cat doesn't say, am I a cat? So, and I was so surprised to hear that. And then I just kept watching the video. And what came was, is it possible that there is something outside of awareness? You know, and nah, this is impossible. Awareness is everything. It encompasses everything. So I just kept watching the video. So and now it's like yesterday and today, and I'm having a hard time. There's a lot of not how can I say that? Resistance. There seems to be a lot of resistance to meditate and to, I don't know why, there's fear. But I was listening to a video, I don't know when, but what came in was, that might be totally stupid and it might be the entity saying that, but the feeling that I had was, am I really here? Is this really happening? And I felt um, like I hear all the time, this is a dream. Like coming from a customer call, this is a dream. But I really felt that this was a dream for the first time. I never felt like that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, am I here?
Mm-hmm.
Am I experiencing that? And I went with all those questions. But it was a simplicity in that. Like it was not, it was very simple, very quiet, very peaceful.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. That's so that's when the ancient teachers speak of Maya, they're speaking about that dream, this dream of this world and this apparent separate little self, living in this world. And yeah, it's the awakening, like when we wake up, the character we were playing, life, everything seems like a dream. It's like, wow, like that there was a whole story and a whole script unfolding, which was life, this whole play that's going on. And when we wake, we can up from that as if it's a dream, literally. It's no different than a dream. Yeah. So then, it's astounding. That's the whole, the cosmic joke is that, we're just playing these characters, and somehow we just get identified with the character. But yeah, we can awaken from it. And quite often when there's that really deep, palpable sense that everything is a dream, like that is the truth. And then if that can even carry over sometimes into the sleep cycle. So the flip side of that is like the consciousness of that starts to wake up more in the dream time as well. So the dreams actually seem more real, and the reality seems more dreamlike, and there's a merging where eventually it all just seems like this sort of waking dream, and there's a sort of continuity. And even in deep sleep, that awareness can continue to move through. So that whatever that is, that feeling, that deep feeling that it's all a dream, that's part of being awake is that it's seeing the truth. Yeah.
Sometimes I call it deep sleep awake. I don't know if it make any sense, but
Mm.
it's that's how I can understand it.
Yeah.
Um, hang on. Yeah, I really feel the more I was asking the question, like, where am I here? Am I really here? And is it this really happening? Is it happening here, like in this world that I see and this? And also what I saw was it is in me. All of that is in me. Like the body, the apartment that I am in, all those thoughts are in me. So I understood like it's like I am awareness and am I seeing all of that, or is that what it is? It's I don't know. It's maybe I'm trying to explain it with the mind, but it's the mind cannot understand that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like the mind loves these questions,
Yeah.
and it like loves to be a knowing mind, So if I give the mind an answer, the mind will be like, oh yeah, okay, now I know. But it's only when the mind drops out, when those questions sort of settle, and there's like that direct experience, whatever that direct experience is. So we can know directly, but whatever the mind thinks it knows, that's just like a little filter. It's just like a little, um, you know, it's it's like it's trying to make a facsimile, or it's trying to take this mystery, that can only be directly experienced, and it's trying to, you know, turn it into something that it knows. So, to me, it always comes back to the don't know mind. If we can allow the mystery to be as it is, then it deepens. Then we experience it deeper and deeper directly. And the mind, like my little Dan character mind, knows less and less as I go along. Like as the mystery deepens, truly, that little mind is just sort of in awe of what it is that we are and what's unfolding. So we can either, go into that mind and figure it out, and then, we sort of stop that process. The energy's then going into the mind, or we just let it be, not knowing, and then it can deepen.
This is exactly what it is, because I could feel the mind wanted to take over, wanted to take, I don't know, not credit for it, but wanted. Yeah, it was, but it could not do it.
No,
The mind could not do it.
no, it always fails. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, and one more question is, I couldn't do the meditation this morning because my body was like, I call that, like, the word tsunami comes in my mind, like it was a tsunami. I mean, it was so uncomfortable. I feel like a pinball machine, when you let go of the ball and it hits everywhere. So the energy was moving so strong. So that's what it is for. It's just waking up all of that and energy release.
Yeah, it's very common. So like what you described previously, that sense of everything is a dream, and the presence, the awareness that is you. When we touch that, when we touch the truth, quite often, then all the unconscious stuff, everything that's in the unconscious starts to come to the surface. And sometimes people will think, okay, I'm something's wrong, or I'm losing it. I'm losing my presence, but this is the process, actually. When we touch the truth, then everything comes up. It's almost like the universe is testing us. It's like, okay, how about this? And how about this? And this is the purification that happens. So, within that space, like everything that hasn't been resolved in the unconscious will have an opportunity to come up. So I would say, like it's not about powering through that, like just, I would say, be gentle with yourself, and you don't want to overload the nervous system. If there's a lot coming up, like get grounded, go for a walk with bare feet, or whatever, lie on the ground, that type of thing. That you don't have to be in any particular posture or anything, to move through that. Like just allow everything that's coming up, but find a middle way between, that allowing and like being, not too, don't let it, overwhelm the nervous system, because it can be a lot as it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to Danielle.
Hello. Well, where do I begin? How much time do we have? I have so much to say. First of all, Sunday night, I overcame. Y'all, this queen over here overcame. And what had happened was, I remember just how the pointers and the insights, right? They will come at the right moment. You know what I mean? Like, it would just be like, oh my goodness. So Sunday was a busy day, family time, etc., cooking. I'm like, hurry up, guys, hurry up. I got things. Anyways, I remember, be present. And so, but I really wanted to make it to at least a couple of Dyad sessions. And so typically Sunday nights, what I do, I just have to have a me time, just sinking into my cozy space, popcorn, Netflix, da 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 da. And so I was really watching my habits. Like, I could feel this pull. Like, what are you doing? You know, just this resistance. Where's the popcorn? What are you doing? I could feel like energy is like fighting me to sit and do the Dyad. I'm like, Dad, girl, you're gonna do this today. And so I just say, you know what? I'm not going downstairs. I remember something that you said then. Then I felt tired and I felt hungry. And the mind was like, look at you, girl, get the popcorn, get a snack. You know, you're tired, just lay down. I was just like, I'm gonna sit right here, right now. We're going to do this. Let's go. You can all come.
Awesome.
You can all come. We're gonna do this together. So my first session with the Dyad, my pole partner, I was just like, blah, 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 blah. Remember, don't get in touch. But the power of just sitting with yourself, the second Dyad came, and I'm telling you, it was like heaven opened up. Hallelujah. I don't know what was happening, but I just remembered just because I said yes to the moment, and I said no, I'm not going downstairs to get popcorn, etc. At one point, what happened, friends, was like there wasn't a partner and there wasn't me anymore. When she was asking me the question, we were talking about a being that we share. It wasn't like I was asking her or she was asking me. We were asking it. And I felt like I couldn't answer for me. I felt like I was answering for the whole, if that makes sense. And so it was just this beautiful, just like meal. I don't know how to explain it, right? Like, we were just partaking into this one energy. And then as her frequency was getting stronger, mine started to rise, and it was just like this one thing we were doing. So that's one thing. I just wanted to share that, like overcome and habits is another thing. It's a personality. I watch it and I caught it. But my question that I have for you, Dan, that happened yesterday, it wasn't so much that I couldn't be present. What happened to me yesterday in my meditation time was that I kept thinking about the things that I needed to do, you know, as a mother, like the things I needed to do. And I was still bombarding my mind. And so how do you, insights, anything you can share about that? I'm grateful.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. That was a beautiful share about that experience. And yeah, so the mind, you know, it's always either, you know, it's going in these different patterns, you know, for everyone. So, you know, sometimes the pattern can be a pattern of sleepiness. Sometimes it's a fantasizing. Sometimes it's going into the past. Sometimes, like in your case, it's going into the future. It's planning, you know. So it doesn't really matter what the pattern is. It's just noticing that it's in play, you know, just like that pattern when it comes up. There's always a connection between the thoughts that are coming up and sensations in the body. So there's always, you know, when the ego mind is engaged, there's a contraction in the body, you know, that there's like, you know, if we're planning or we're trying, you know, it's like I have to get this done, you know, there's a little contraction somewhere in the body. There's a little, just it might be a very low grade anxiety or you know, feeling of resistance, but it's there. So if we can make that connection between the mind and the body, and the breath is part of that as well. Like that, the ego, mind, when it controls, in these unconscious patterns, the breath is not at ease as well. So just start to make the connection between those three things, the mind, the body, the breath. It's really all one thing. It's one pattern, and there will be parts of that there may be very subtle that you just weren't conscious of. And when you start making it conscious, for me, like for years, I was constricting in my belly area, in the kind of the hara area. And the thoughts would come and the belly would tense. And it was over and over. I realized, eventually I kept just kind of releasing, relaxing. Every time I noticed it, it would naturally kind of relax once it became conscious. But it took me a couple of years of meditation before that it finally just kind of dropped. And so there, and everybody has different patterns. So it won't necessarily be that for you, but it's just making that connection. There's some sort of thing in play, and so it's a totality of
Mhm.
our whole mind body process.
Mhm. One thing also, I thank you so much for that, Jen. One thing that I also noticed since I've been doing the Dyad and just sitting more in the awareness of, is things lining up without me having to interfere.
Mhm.
I just, like, errands that I need to do, like things that I need to do, like things are just being orchestrating. I don't know how to explain it. It's more like there's a divine guidance that's taking over,
Mhm.
and that's simplifying my life. It could be something as simple like, what should you cook? Like, you already have this, so put this together and that together, and it's something that I would have never thought. And I'm like, oh, I love this life. I can stop living. I like it. You can take over. You're living my life better than I can.
That's beautiful.
And so,
Yeah,
and so
that's
I'm just
it.
having so much fun with this, and I'm so grateful.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's it. I
Yeah.
mean, you've just
Yeah.
sort of answered your own question there about, the planning and the doing. If you just, if you can drop the whole, contraction, like I have to do something, and trust that divine intelligence, just trust like life is already, it's doing everything. It's all happening. And
Yeah.
yeah, so you've already kind of answered your own question. Just go in with that energy. That energy, I felt it come up when you're describing it, and that's
Well,
it. That's it. Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you. Mhm.
Then I have a question.
Sure.
This is Ling. Yeah.
Sure. Let me find you here. I'm gonna spotlight you. Sorry, what was the name?
Ling.
Okay.
I have another name, Chen. So now I use Ling because I did not change my name.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope someone can ask my question, but no one. So I ask my question. Mm, Um, I feel like I finally find I am at presence, and I used to be a person who is always planned to the future, but recently I don't. And mm,
When you
it
say
seemed,
recently,
yeah,
how recent? How
maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
okay.
And because I had a retreat in this time, and also I find like um, I'm not interested with the things I used to be for long, and it seems I'm not interested to almost everything.
Mhm.
And I'm waiting for, I think there is something forming, but it seems like still in the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can feel the energy at my back, the spinal cord now.
So what's happening with that energy?
It's going up
Mm-hmm.
from the back, going all the way up.
Yeah.
And I also, my mind is worried about it. Don't waste the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I try not to listen to the mind.
Good. Yeah. So this is a perfect sort of, it's interesting. What you were saying, about this time in your life, like not being interested in, the old stuff, and now you're having this experience of what's happening here, just being still. And when you're just being still, this energy is moving. It's climbing. It's alive in you. So to me, what just happened here with your energy is the answer to also to life. When we go on this path of awakening, there is, for most people, the old patterns aren't satisfying anymore. The old life isn't satisfying, and the old activities, whatever the character was doing before, it doesn't feel like we want to do it anymore. Or maybe we continue to do it, but it just doesn't feel alive. But if we can just be in this stillness, this energy starts to come to life. And we never know how long it takes, but there's something that unfolds, for everyone in their life when you allow that energy to just, it is the energy of life. It's just that felt sense of aliveness and joy, just the direct contact with life itself. And that can become our compass in life. Whatever keeps you connected to that energy. And there may be things that come, where that energy is alive, even when you're doing that thing, and so we don't know what that's going to be. So it's just remaining open to explore, to see, when is that energy there? That stillness could, that presence might be most alive when, certain situations in life present themselves, and that's our compass for navigating the waves of life.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank
I
you.
even don't want to ask the question, but I also don't want to miss you, the check-in. And also I think, I did not get up on the time. And kind of
I think on the second day, I have to do something, take care of my daughter or something, and then I missed some part, and then it seems like I often miss something, or late. It seems like mm,
Nothing is really important um, at the about the form outside.
Mhm.
um, nothing is have to be like some certain situation.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah. The outer form really doesn't matter if we have an understanding of what this sadhana really is. It's really, if something shows up in our life, it's like, I don't know if you see the Liberation film that we put out recently? There,
Um,
there,
no, I haven't.
so
I haven't.
we're actually going to put that in day 6, but we're going to have a little time to watch that together. But in that, at the end of the film, there's a part where it's talking about the Hotai, the Japanese Buddha. He's like the laughing Buddha, and and you know, to me, that's the ultimate expression of freedom, is what he represents. Where, whatever shows up in life, he fully embraces it. He just says yes to life, however it's showing up. But without attachment at the same time. So he fully embraces everything, but he can also just be free as well. He doesn't look back, and
Mhm.
and to me, that's the ultimate expression of this path, is that, to just, we do these periods of sadhana sometimes to interrupt the pattern, if of the conditioned self. But ultimately, where this is going is to just be in life, to allow everything to be as it is. So, so sometimes, the form, like this retreat has a form. It has a certain structure to it and everything. But the evolution of this path is to take that into life, so that, so there's no separation between sadhana and life. It's just all one.
Ye- Yes, I understand that, but I feel like at some time, I think that's the mind is judging me. Uh, Are you so lazy now? Something like this. And so it feels like I want to know how, when it can be end of this process.
Mm,
But at the same time, I also think I I will not get the answer. It will shows naturally someday.
mm,
So,
but I still want to double check with you about it.
mhm.
is that
Yeah, yeah. The part that wants to know the end of the process, the like the beginnings and ends are all happening in that conditioned mind, but there's that part of you that never begins and never ends. It just is what it is, that pure awareness. Sometimes, like Eckhart Tolle would say, it was never born, that part of you. So when we discover that, then we realize that, all the comings and goings, all the beginnings and endings, it's all happening within the little conditioned self. So it all comes down to the question, who are you? Who are you truly? Are you that conditioned self that it wants certain things, it wants certain conditions, it wants to be, has an idea of what freedom is, of what liberation is, wants to get to the finish line, you know, but that little character will never do it, because that's not you. That's the character that you're playing. So just keep inquiring into like directly into that awareness. Can you directly experience that awareness that is here? And it's once we wake up from that character, it's all good. Then life just, the beginnings and endings, it's just this endless play going on. But if you know who you are, then you realize you don't even need to be liberated. You were never bound in that. Yeah, so it all comes down to that inquiry.
Okay, so I think I touched some of the awareness. I touch it, I know that, but I often reject by something else.
Yeah.
So for all the life, in the daily life, I just keep inquiry. Is that what your advice?
Yeah, I think, yeah, just stay with that awareness. Just be aware of that awareness. And by doing that, more and more you'll see the habit pattern of the mind as well. When you started out in this conversation, you described how, what your activities of life, like it doesn't feel as important anymore. And the more we see what's in the unconscious mind, the more the energy comes out of that. So it doesn't feel as alive. But this moment will feel more and more alive then. So we let go more and more of that screen of thoughts and sensations and all of that, and just allow the energy to be here, present. So it's just being with what is in each moment. Yeah, just feeling like having a direct experience of each moment. So whatever shows up in your world, just embrace it. Have a complete experience of it, and just notice when the mind is sort of mediating that experience in some way.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Appreciate.
I'll go to Victoria.
Yeah, so I resonate with actually what everyone is saying, and also am taking the letting what is, and just being like, how far can you take that? Like, everything matters and nothing matters, and no matter, really, really no matter what happens,
Yeah.
letting what it is. But at the same time, then that would mean that there is mind and there is no mind, and everything matters and nothing matters. Because been experimenting with doing sadhana and missing almost all of yesterday for doing normal life stuff, and being in the consciousness, and then being in the mind and the body. Yeah. And you said something that struck me was the being well, I don't know if you said it, but something struck me about being everything to everyone. Because when I was actually away yesterday, but then I came back to Dyad, it actually felt even more powerful. And if you completely refresh and then do something with fresh energy or eyes or whatever you call it, which is really interesting, because then the person, my partner, they said that they had been in Dyad, it was their 4th Dyad in a row. But I think that it was really great session for both of us either way. But it's just kind of funny. And because they were like, oh, I'm feeling all weird and
Yeah, I think it can go either way. I think like what it ultimately comes down to is, like the ego structure. I think I talked about this a little bit in one of the teachings, but the ego is just resistance to what is. So if whatever circumstances we find ourselves in, the question it always comes down to is, is this sense of I resisting something? Is it trying to, it does have some preference over this or that? If life is showing up in a certain way, is this little I thought active, actively resisting what is? And so it can resist in any situation. Like to me, the practice can go on in any form. But quite often, when we're doing dyads, there is an energy that builds, and if we stay with that energy, there is a sort of pressure that like in Buddhism, they say, it's like if there's no pressure, there's no diamond that's created. So we are creating these conditions of no escape for the ego, to bring about the conditions for Kensho. But that yeah, you're right. Like there's nothing that has to be a certain way because we can allow that process to continue in any activity. We can turn any activity into sadhana.
Yeah, and then like you like zoom out and you're like, holy frick, like my whole spiritual experience has also been that story because I remember like way, way long time ago, like 10 years ago, I was like in your and Tanya's like meditations that you guys were running. And
Oh,
it was like
really? Oh,
really
wow.
small back then.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
that,
like I was like gone for a long time.
yeah.
Like out, like I guess just meditating in a different way that was a lot more messy.
Yeah.
And then like there was like this like another this retreat reminds me of something that happened a retreat during the pandemic that was like, oh, like I feel like Jesus or Buddha or something. But then like I went through hell and it was like, oh, actually have a lot of karma to do resolve it. And then like you realize that, oh, you could resolve it through meditation like all this time, like, but whatever. And then but yeah, something that I do like, I don't even know what the question is. Like it just struck me like, well, apparently meditation is like the earth element of the five elements. The earth element, like also it says that, the tendency to like be everything to everyone. And that was from something completely different from this retreat. But then I was like, wait, but like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Like, because isn't that like the exact description of meditation, that it's like being everything to everyone?
So what's happening in your meditation right now? Like in the last hour, were you part of the last hour, like just before this, or?
No, I like I just like really was sleepy. Like I just needed some sleep because of like getting up at 3 a.m. For the start of the because of the time difference, yeah. And then like doing like the regular stuff that I have as well, and then like doing this when I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. So in this moment, why don't we just inquire into what meditation is, or to me, self-inquiry is the same thing. So in this moment, what's happening for you in this moment? If you inquire, who are you in this moment? There's this mind body here with thoughts and sensations. So this question arising, whatever sensations are in the body. So who are you that is aware of that mind and body right now? Can you directly experience that awareness?
It's the whole process, and also it's like, reflecting on itself, like, and it's like constantly repeating, or it's like every little moment, and then every, like, large scale moment, but then even beyond time. Yeah. And then it's like every person, and is oneself, but also beyond. So all of that.
What's happening in the body right now? How does the body feel?
It just kind of feels irrelevant, like, oh, like, just doing its thing. Like, I'm sure that it's fine.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, to me, the meditation is really, it's just being here with what is, so and inquiring into who we are. To me that's it. And so yeah, so just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep reporting and exploring. And if these questions come up in the mind, I'm not going to give you an answer to any question like that, like what you were asking, because the direct experience is going to be more fulfilling for you. If I give you any answer, it's just going to be information on the level of mind. But I want to point you beyond that mind to that direct experience that it's in this stillness of this moment you find the direct truth.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'll go to Guy. Get you to unmute. Oh, there we go.
Whoop, I lost the pictures. What's that? So you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Okay, now, yeah.
You're good.
Sorry. I'm a little bit a technical dummy, so that's why. If you don't mind, I just want to feel what I'm feeling right now before I start to talk. I feel trembling a little bit. My ego is very shy, and it's always difficult for me to talk in public. Even though I did a lot of show and I sing to many people, it's always the same thing. But it's not what I want to say. I don't have any question, in fact. I want to share something, if you don't mind.
Sure, yeah, please.
The first thing I want to say is, my God, this process is so wonderful. It's so incredible. And I want to tell you thank you to with your search to find this Dyad process, to share it with us, that we can live this experience. I had no expectation when I arrived in this retreat, and I'm really amazed, really amazed. I was a little bit suspicious in the beginning, but my God. And the important point I find in those Dyads is the people itself, the partner. I saw, how can I say it? I'm looking for my words now. I saw hearts glowing in each partner. It's flowering. It's absolutely beautiful. In the beginning, the conversation was in the head, and slowly and quickly it goes to the heart. And it felt so great, so honest, so sincerity, so much sincerity. It's beautiful. Last night, during the Dyad, spontaneously, I share an old French medieval song to my partner, and she answered me with a beautiful song in Chinese. I believe it was Chinese, and it was so cute. It was like two kids.
Sanskrit.
Two kids sharing their heart song. The mind didn't understand the word. She didn't understand what I said, and I did not understand what she's saying. But the heart was in communication, in communion.
Beautiful.
Yeah. This morning in the meditation, I was not intelligent enough or straight enough to do a right meditation. I was not able to concentrate. So I wrote down a few words, and few words I would like to share to the participant here, if you don't mind.
Sure, please.
I call it very original, Dyad. Receiving the imperative. Tell me who you are. First, I looked through my mind, but my mind gave me only wrong answers. So I asked my heart, but my heart also didn't know the answer. It did not know the answer, but it knows the truth. And when I found the truth shining into my own heart, all question vanish.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I want to highlight what you just said. That's so important. You know, what you just described, like we don't find an answer, you know, we find the truth. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the questions and answers are all on this level of the mind. And what's satisfying is not on that level. It's the truth, this deep truth of, we can call it the heart, you know, the truth of who we are. Yeah, that's it. It's beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, thank you.
And the final things I want to say, I don't know if I will find the right words to say it. I look through your works, and I see that you search in all directions. And I look at your movies, your music, and what you did. You create a center. You create for us a place that we can share and participate in this beautiful experience. It's a great gift you gave to us, and you give to humanity. How can I say it? Can I call you brother?
Sure.
And I want to say, Brother Daniel,
Mm-hmm.
I see that God is working through you and through your works to awaken the world. And for it, deeply from the bottom of my heart, I want to be graceful and to thank you. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful words. Yeah, it's wonderful to see your energy alive, and you know, this is why I do what I do. It's actually, you know, what you described. You know, seeing others, seeing these hearts opening. It's the most beautiful thing. You know, what else are you going to do on this planet? You know, once you get the truth, then, it's, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, thank you. Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Mm.
Right. I don't see any more hands here. So
Can I speak?
sure. Yeah. Let me find where.
It's Tyson.
Okay.
I was just doing my morning meditation and I didn't know this was going to happen. I thought, oh, gee, big group this morning. But Dan, I just really wanted to say thank you so much for hosting even that. It's been wonderful for me and I just wanted to just pass on some gratitude,
Mm.
just 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 gratitude. And I also want to say hi to Leo and Monique because I see them every morning but we've never said a word. So I just want to say hi to those guys.
Awesome. Yeah, it's nice to finally connect with some of the meditators that when we see them every day, it's nice to actually get a sense of the character as well. So
Yeah, yeah. I did have a question though, Dan. When I'm meditating, usually in the mornings, I kind of go to a place within myself, kind of like where I'm pointing to, where everything I can stay there. But sometimes I'll switch. I'll go from that to just like the hum of my refrigerator, the like something external. I go from internal to external.
Mhm.
Um, and they feel very different. Um,
And is there a conscious choice to do that?
uh, Sometimes I just slip into it, but sometimes there's a conscious choice too, and I'll just do it for just to do something different.
Mhm. So you would say like maybe going from internal to external, like to just
Yes.
taking in the space and yeah. So yeah, and like so are you doing the dyads? Are you I can't remember if I've seen you at the dyads in the evening, but are you doing?
No, I haven't. Sorry, I this
Oh
was
yeah.
kind of a
Oh, that's it.
surprise.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about this self-inquiry is it takes you to, this when we call it the self, or it's the non-dual. It's this direct experience where it's somehow we become unfiltered. So even this idea of inner and outer sort of falls away. And so to me, like meditation kind of, in on one hand, you have, this chooser or there's this possibility of being, focusing here or there, inner and outer, all of that. But at a certain point, when we have that direct experience of who we are, that sort of falls away, and meditation just becomes being. It's just being like this kind of radical openness or presence to all that is. So I would say, that those dyads, what we're pointing towards, finding out who we are, even that duality, even that choice can fall away. So what is it that chooses? What is it that makes that flip? And if you make that completely conscious, and it drops away, then who remains? That's the real question.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And thanks again for all your work. Really appreciate that. Yeah, it's awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tyson. All right. Well, thanks everyone. Yeah, beautiful connecting. And yeah, I think we're at about the end of our time here. So yeah, I'll see you. We'll be cruising in and out of the dyads again tonight, and we'll see you there. So yeah, thanks everyone.